Viper for NinjaTrader 8 on April the 11th, 2024. This is the latest performance summary. We're going to go over the inputs, the optimization, as well as the data settings so you have all the information to set this up. Let's look at this strategy setup. This is the performance summary. And let's take a look at, this is the equity curve. You can see that this strategy is a trend-based strategy. Trend-based day trade strategies have gone through a drawdown in general across the board, and Viper is no exception, going through a normal drawdown. And that is one of the reasons why we offer portfolios of trading systems for trend and counter trend. And so this is in a cyclical drawdown right now, and you can see that in this chart. And one of the best ways to start or time a strategy is at a drawdown instead of at an equity peak. So if sometimes if you get in at an equity peak, you have to go through the drawdown first. But if you go through the drawdown first, it makes it easier potentially to initially get in. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and it could draw down further than it is right now. The length of this drawdown is longer and further than this one here. This performance summary goes back to 2018, and let's look at the metrics, the trade metrics. Obviously, the long trades have done much better. It's that kind of market environment. 86.84 average trade profit on the long side, only 29.63 on the short side. The drawdown is lower. This is the composite of all trades. The drawdown is lower on the long side, and so there could be a bias to the long side, but if the market goes into a bear market, in this case, you still have the short signals. So this is the latest performance summary. Let's go over the inputs and how we got to these inputs. So I have disabled the strategy right now so that the inputs are easier to see. When you enable it, it kind of goes into a light background. But right now you can see there are 40 inputs in this setup, including the number of contracts. Don't trade if holiday. We don't trade this on a holiday. Take long trades. Yes, you want to only take long trades and not short trades. You can uncheck this box. Vice versa, if you only want to take short trades, if you find a better set of inputs. Max daily entries is set to 2, but we don't use that. So this number doesn't matter if the box related to that is not checked. Limit entry points is 0, R1 and R2 are proprietary inputs, 5 and 0.1. We use a stop loss and profit targets for longs and shorts. That's why all of these are checked. We do not use a break even or trailing. It's possible those could work. And the latest inputs are $600 stop loss, $1,000 profit target on the longs, and are actually a $600 stop loss, long stop loss, and a short stop loss of $1,000, and then the profit target on the long side is $900, while the stop loss on the short side, a profit target on the short side is $600. This makes sense because the trend has been higher, so we can have a tighter stop loss on the long side and a bigger profit target. Since the trend has been higher, you need a larger stop loss and a tighter profit target since the trend has been up. And so in a bear market environment, it's possible that you could maximize your profits by expanding the profit target and potentially even lowering your stop loss if there are sharp trends that are favorable right away. Entry times, you wait out the first hour and 45 minutes of trade. These are based on Eastern Standard Time. They automatically adjust to whatever time zone your computer is on. And so we sit out the first hour and 45 minutes, which has been notably choppy. And we then take trades all the way, take trade entries all the way till 15:30, and then exit by 4:05. And so you also see additional datas. Data 2 uses NASDAQ 5-minute. The market symbol, the symbol is not listed since it uses the same as the symbol that's on the chart. Data 3 uses advancers, NYSE advancers. Data 4 uses NYSE decliners, so you have to make sure your data feed supports that through Kinetic. And then data 5 is the NASDAQ again, 240 period NASDAQ. Simply really just checking the ranges to make sure they're high enough to take these trades. And then we cancel our entries to the market order within 3 seconds. They cancel our profit target limits. These are for limit orders. We don't want to see a limit order signal hit but not get filled. So we'll cancel and replace, make sure we're in. And these are some of the other settings that you see in this setup. And so I'm going to hit apply now. And you can see how this is kind of grayed out, a little bit harder to see. But the signals will show up again on the charts. I'm going to select OK. And I'm going to go over the Viper spreadsheet. Here is the spreadsheet. We have one for TradeStation. This is one for NinjaTrader. And you have the default inputs right here. And everything in purple is different than the default. And so one of the things I looked at was the optimization. I don't always like to optimize, but I did optimize the inputs on Viper from January the 1st of 2024 to about a few days ago, April the 8th. And the only things that we didn't optimize all the inputs. The only things really changed was this R2 to 0.1. We changed the stop losses and profit target amounts on this. This should be, actually, we don't use the break even, and that did not change. So let me change that back on the default. So these are, you can see how use break even is unchecked, so it doesn't matter. It's the same across the board, but the stop losses and profit targets are different, and this is different. So that's the only thing that's changed. Not a big change, and not a huge difference in performance either. And so you can test the default inputs. You can test the option 1, which only takes long trades by turning the shorts off. Option 2 adds to that by changing the entry times even later in the day, so it only tries to capture the afternoon rallies. Option 3 moves the stop loss in to 600 instead of 1200. Option 4 moves the profit target out from 600 to 1200, still taking those late trades, long only. And then option 5 limits it to max daily entries, so it's a cumulative addition to what would be seen potentially as more and more favorable time periods, risk management setups. And so those can all be ways and examples of testing this. This can be used on different time frames in ways we've never used before. And so this is a comprehensive spreadsheet. 1/10 of the values for the micros can also be used and applied to this. So that is the input settings. Let's go over the data settings. If you right click and select data series, you can see we're going over the price based on the last minute one custom range, January 2018 through today. We're using a US stock session that goes from 8:30 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. That's based on exchange time, break at end of day. All the chart styles, visuals, and trades, those can be customized to your preference. These settings right here do not affect the actual logic, but these strategies, this part of the settings does. Especially this one, the data series is 1 minute and it has to be on US stock. The time frame you test it on can be different if you don't want to go back that far, but that is the data settings, and this is the release of Viper E-mini Nasdaq from NinjaTrader. Hey, David Bean here. Welcome to Capstone Trading Systems YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe to join our community of algorithmic traders. We are real money traders. We share our winning streaks, we share our losing streaks, as well as market updates, strategies, and coding tips.